So this is a review for Little Boy Boo, and with me today is Egghead Jr. himself, my good friend Eli Copperman. Say hi.
I I was doing my own impression of Egghead Jr.
It doesn't really work when we can't actually see you for the review because it's silent.
Not really.
That's okay. But a few bits of info to get underway. So, as mentioned, this is a review for Little Boy Boo, released on the 5th of June, 1954. It's the 712th in the series, and it's directed by Bob McKimson. You can find this fully restored on the Looney Tunes Superstars Foghorn DVD set, and a HD version is lurking about, as it was restored in HD at the time. You won't find this on YouTube unless Warner Brothers themselves decide to upload it. It'll just get blocked. It's a copyrighted short. But in case you haven't seen this one, you have Foghorn living in a ramshackle house. Cold weather's going to come his way, so he decides to pursue Prissy so he can live in a nice warm home. But she won't marry him unless she sees that he can bond with her son, Egghead Jr., and we get a bunch of shenanigans as a result of that. So, a whole lot of fun in this one, and I love this one. The title is based off of the nursery rhyme Little Boy Blue. That should be self-apparent, but for the few that aren't aware, that's where it comes from. Little Boy Blue.
I have a feeling that nursery rhyme isn't too well known to people outside of European descended countries, but yep, that's more or less what it's from.
Yeah, exactly. And this one features the first appearance of Egghead Jr. in the first of 3 appearances, with the other 2 being Feather Dusted and Crockett Doodle Doo. And Feather Dusted also features Prissy, and she's speaking more normally than just a whole years shtick that she was doing in a lot of the previous shorts.
Which is about time, considering that by this point you can only do so much with a character who doesn't really speak much. So yeah, giving her more dialogue definitely helps. And in this one, she is already a mom. So it's kind of interesting how they decided, well, we got to do something else with this character. So why not just have her be a mother from the start?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a good idea.
Well, I couldn't.
But I need you, widow. I need your love to keep me warm.
I couldn't marry you unless you could prove you'd be a good father to my son.
Now, if Prissy sounds different, that's because she's not voiced by Bea Benaderet here. She's voiced by Marion Richmond, and that information comes from Keith Scott's Wonderful Cartoon Voices book, and I'll have a link below to that book, and you should definitely get it if you have any serious interest in cartoon voice acting. I like the fact that we have a bit of variety here, and it's a bit of trivia where there's really no consistency with these Foghorn shorts, and why should there be? Who cares? As long as you got the basic idea, right? You've got just a loud blabber mouth of a character and his interactions. You know, usually he has a barnyard dog, which is not in this short, by the way. But sometimes with Prissy, sometimes he's on his own, sometimes with Sylvester. Who cares? There's no consistency. But in this one, unlike the previous short of Rice and Hen, where Prissy wants a man and is pursuing Foghorn and even get married, which is conveniently forgotten here, by the way. But here, Foghorn pursues Prissy, but it's for his own selfish interests because he's cold and wants a warm house. And I guess he's not going to be much of a man since he can't fix up his own place. So there we are.
You'd think he would be, considering that he's a rooster, and roosters are the alpha male leaders in chickens. But I guess he is really too darn lazy to fix up his house, which he's been a bachelor too long and he needs a wife to fix stuff up. Good luck with that, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. But I reckon we take a look at this short and we go through why this short is so great. This is actually one of the better Foghorn shorts. And I've said this in a few reviews, but in case this is your first one or first Foghorn one for that matter, I maintain that even later on in McKimson's career, where his shorts become very hit or miss, the Foghorns are consistently the best that he's done, especially in the later part. Are they perfect in every single one? No, but they're still the best thing that he's done, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. Even when McKimson's unit declined afterwards, yeah, I can't think of many Foghorn cartoons that are, I guess, not so great or just flat out bad. Like, McKimson really found his niche with Foghorn Leghorn, and like, even if some shorts weren't as good as others, like you always knew what to expect. And at the same time, every now and then he'd switch up the formula just enough to where we can enjoy one short over the other. So yeah, there wasn't too bad of a step down in quality in Foghorn compared to other characters at that point.
And this one, no exception. We'll go through the short and as to why. So we open up. I guess there's a whole newspaper, Barnyard News. I wonder who publishes that. If it was around these days, it might be another Murdoch paper. But anyway, and I guess it's a slow news day because, coldest winter on way here.
It's probably a local town newspaper.
So we'll spend the next 10 hours discussing about the Barnyard News and how they came about, who's the publisher, and so on. But anyway, it's fine. He just drives the point forward. We're just being silly, of course. But anyway, it starts off. But then I like how we then see Foghorn and how he lives. And I'll have to do my Simpsons joke here. This reminds me of Lenny, where he's like, please don't tell me how I live. That basically reminds me of that gag right there. So it's I love his slippers. If you have a look at that shot, it perfectly fits his two-pronged little toes, whatever the roosters have. But more importantly, what on earth is that picture in the background? Is that like a chicken with a bra? Or is it, I guess he really is a bachelor, he's got some kind of a sexy picture in the background. What on earth is that thing?
Oh, for sure. It's probably the earliest sign that there were some degenerates in the Warner Brothers staff.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it. I guess it's blurred just enough to not have any trouble with the censorship office.
I mean, hey, in Daffy the Commando, there's like a calendar of a naked woman, and that got past the censor somehow. So yeah, if that can get past the censor, so can this.
Yeah, even Rhapsody Rabbit, when he's flipping through and we see that woman picture and everyone's whistling.
Bugs. Yeah. Very naughty.
Oh, yeah, that one's really naughty, especially in high definition, and I'll say no more. So, yes. All right. So Foghorn is like, okay, what can I do? Instead of doing the right thing and fixing up his own home, he's like, he just looks outside, looks around and sees how beautiful Prissy's home is, and it's a nice little cottage. I've got to say, it's a very nice little touch. But if you look for a very brief seconds, I don't know if you caught this because it happens in like a blink of an eye. There is a picture, another picture, next to the window. It's a picture of a chook, roast chook, and it says below it, father. Did you see that?
You know what? It's hard to notice these things on first viewing. These gags were not meant to be freeze framed in a movie theater, of course.
That's why I'm doing it, 60 or whatever odd years later. Yes, I do watch these shorts frame by frame, so it takes me 10 hours to watch one short. No, I'm kidding. I don't go that far. I do miss things, but that did catch my eye.
It takes me that long.
Yeah, just watch everything in slow-mo. But no, I noticed that. I was like, what the? I actually had to go back because it happened so quick. I'm like, what on earth is that picture? And sure enough, father. Yeah, okay. Reminds me of the gag in The Three Little Pigs, the original Disney one from 33, where the Three Little Pigs have a picture in the background saying father, and it's just a bunch of sausages. So reminds me of that.
Well, in fairness, that was probably their equivalent of holding on to a family ashtray.
Yeah. And it's probably the first time I'm going to say that their father looks tasty. But anyway. And I guess Foghorn's father looks tasty too. So yeah, there you are.
He probably does, and now I'm craving chicken. Anyway, back to the show.
That's right. And, perhaps I've lived as a bachelor for too long.
Maybe I've been a bachelor too long.
And then he combs his quote-unquote hair. I like that out of touch. It's not really hair, but anyway, it's nice. And speaking about it touches, he walks out from his home, and I like how the door just collapses at the same time. It's the little things like that. Was I rolling on the floor laughing when it happened? No, but it's nice. You look at that and go, okay. So he walks on over, and I love the backgrounds. Say what you want about McKimson during this time. At least his backgrounds are pretty nice. Even in his lesser shorts later on, like pre-hysterical hair, at least that one's got nice backgrounds. That's probably the only good thing about that one. But anyway.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that short another time.
Exactly. So I like how Foghorn even just quickly picks up Prissy's own flowers to give to her. Like, it's so on the spot. Like, you know what? I'm going to marry this girl, and gives her the flowers and the candy. We hear it had to be you. Of course we do. We hear that Prissy's, she's clearly happy that, hey, someone's interested in this old chook, if you get my meaning. That's probably what the reference is. And I wonder if dating is this simple these days, because I haven't needed to date in a long time, because I've been married for a long time now. And is it a case of, okay, here's the candy, here's the flowers, now let's get married?
A good day, Widow Hen. May I come in?
Sakes alive, a man! Come right in, Mr. Leghorn.
Here's the flowers, and here's the candy. The courtship is now over. So how about it, Widow Hen? Will you marry me?
The courtship is over.
Skip the courtship. Let's get married. Come on, girlie.
And that's it. And he goes, I need your love to keep me warm. And he's just really pushing it. And she is playing a little bit hard to get, but for a good cause. Okay. I have to admire that, she thinks about her son first, and good on her, as she should.
I think this kind of premise, funny you mentioned that, was used in a Looney Tunes cartoon on Max. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was a similar type of short where Foghorn does try to win the affection of Prissy for reasons I don't remember. But instead of trying to impress her son, he has to impress her father. And that works well at the same time, given that, family comes first, of course. But I wouldn't call Foghorn a stranger to her, since she apparently does know him. Like, she introduced him like, "Come in, Mr. Leghorn." Like she knows who he is, but her son probably doesn't. And speaking of her son, take it away, Anthony.
Yes, we see Egghead Jr., who's so hyper-focused on his book, which is about splitting the fourth dimension, which I gotta admit, that looks pretty fascinating.
I've wanted to know what the fourth dimension was since I was a kid, so maybe he has the answers.
Exactly. Well, he seems to have the answer to everything, as we'll see in this short, for sure. And Foghorn's reaction, "This is a boy?"
Hey, boy, come on over here. Let's have a look at you. This is a boy?
Okay, we're going to put the brakes on right now, because I'm watching this short for the first time in ages, and I do love this one. Can we just agree that Egghead is just about a decent representation of an autistic boy?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's
100%.
the signs are all there. Let's go through it, shall we? And this is why I say so, okay? And I mean this with love. I mean, my own son is autistic, for crying out loud. I know all this, okay? First of all, barely verbal, hyper-focused in what he wants to do, has no idea about sports or other things that's not interested in, to the point where he even eats a baseball. He uses a baseball bat to hit Foghorn. Completely misses the point of quote-unquote simple childish games. But he's a cute kid and seems like a nice little guy. So that's my case. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. He's autistic, and
I mean, at the same time, even if it wasn't intended, there is definitely some truth in how children were perceived back in the day. Autistic children did exist back then. There just wasn't a term for it. Back then, children who acted that way were not really seen as normal or seen as socially acceptable by society's dumb standards. But there's definitely a lot to be said about how surprisingly timeless of a character Egghead Jr. is. Maybe not intentionally. I doubt Robert McKimson or Ted Pierce or anyone else in his unit even knew what autism was at the time. But at the same time, there's definitely a very good argument to be said about what Egghead Jr. is and what he represents to, I guess, people like you and me, Anthony.
So, yeah, I rest my case. Egghead is an autistic character. So, yeah, it's like that meme, that whole change my mind meme, He's autistic, change
for
my
sure.
mind. But anyway, I think it's great because you have Foghorn. He's clearly an old-fashioned kind of guy. So he has no idea. He thinks all boys play baseball and all boys should know about that sort of stuff. And that doesn't mean Foghorn is bad. Okay, and I like that. He's not bad. He's just, he just has his ideas, and not once does he hate the boy in this short either. It's just, okay, I'm doing my best here, but he ends up, there's a backfiring in the end as well. But, and even then, he doesn't blame the boy. It's just, you know what? This is just too much. I'm out of here.
And here, it's good to have a change of pace where the boy is just honestly like really, he's naive and innocent about the world, but he's a harmless little kid. There's really nothing to really hate about the kid.
Now we all know the rest of the short is going to be that nice simple premise of Foghorn trying to be a potential father to Egghead.
I say good idea with a hen. I know the ball be crazy about me. Crazy, that is.
And he's doing the right thing. It's like, okay, let's start with baseball. And he gives the baseball. And as I mentioned before, it just eats it because he has no idea about it. I thought that was funny. And he's like, yeesh, something about a kid who's never played baseball. He's just like,
You ever played baseball? There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
What on earth's going on here?
I'm sure there are plenty of children out there who have never played baseball and turned out to be just fine.
Yeah,
so
but again, he's old-fashioned. I can forgive him because At least he's not being hateful to the boy. He's just got a reality check that people can be different, Like, that's what I think it is.
Oh, for sure.
So it's all good. There's nothing malicious about it. But he goes, I will learn you the game. So someone needs to learn how to say the word teach. But anyway, I will learn you the game. And Egghead just randomly hits Foghorn with the bat. But you said that just the animation of that is amazing. I love that part.
Bang. Not only the animation, but just the timing. It's like barely a few frames after he hands him the bat, the pig that just hits him on the head so bad.
Yeah. And to top it all off, we hear the music cue, Ain't We Got Fun? Because, of course, we're going to use that cue, aren't we? So, anyway.
Oh, it's perfect. And anytime something playful happens, you got to bring in the old stuff, Carl Sully?
Exactly. And we got wonderful animation, which I'm sure it's Scribner, where the
yeah.
ball's bouncing all over Fogg's gut. And he's like, well, I asked for it. Great stuff. And sure enough, again, this is a little bit of an economical sort of thing, where instead of seeing the actual hit of the ball, it's far easier to animate the reaction to the ball going inside his mouth, I guess. But anyway.
Oh, for sure. And it keeps our eye focused on Foghorn. So when that great piece of animation comes, we're laughing even harder.
Yeah. So Foghorn decides, you know what, let's swap. I'm going to do the bat and you do the ball, right? And he goes and puts some pepper on it. And of course, again, here's another thing, autistic thing. He took it literally. He didn't understand that it was a gag. So there's another case in point.
Very concrete perspective, which a lot of autistic people have, not just children.
But anyway, I love the maths equation, which if you look at it, and I know a bit about maths, and this makes no sense whatsoever. So they probably just got some book from a library and just randomly added all these algebra symbols, which make no sense. But because I'm not an expert mathematician, if you are, let me know in the comments if that sum makes any sense whatsoever. Because I'm genuinely curious about that. So I do like how Egghead is using his own strength of his mind on how to solve a problem of throwing the ball.
It's unorthodox, but hey, whatever works for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I like how Foghorn's like, come on, are you ready? Are you ready? And the ball already went through his bat. He's just like, what the?
And again, another economical save. They just immediately cut to the background of trees with holes in them.
Yep. 100%. Foghorn's all puzzled, but he looks at the sum itself. He's like, oh, I guess it does add up. So what? Is Foghorn some kind of a mathematician? So good.
Well, no, I don't think he actually necessarily read through the whole thing. I think just seeing that probably will let him going, okay, maybe I didn't read the full thing, but I'll take your word for it. That's true. That is exactly what grown-ups do to children who tell them otherwise, and you know it.
100%.
Yeah, I guess it does add up. Yeah.
And the next gag involving paper airplanes, and I was in stitches for this one. So Foghorn innocently just makes a normal aircraft, and Egghead makes this ridiculous paper airplane. Not only does it have jet blasts in the back, but it's also got bullets. Like, what the? This is ridiculous.
I say that'll never fly.
And sure enough, when the whole thing is said and done, Egghead, nicely, again, he's a nice little boy, he's going up saying, look, this is why that worked. And Falcon's like, knowing the answer is not going to do me any good anyway. And it's just dejected.
Yeah, knowing the answer isn't going to do us any good, because even if you tell us, it's like, wait, so how does it have bullets? But then again, I remember, you know what? It's a cartoon logic parodying logic. So on more power to it.
Oh, never mind, Einstein. Knowing the answer wouldn't do me no good anyway. Let's play hide and seek.
And we're going to play a game of hide and seek, which, again, to Falcon's credit, at least he's doing the basic stuff here, which is really nice. And I think this is the only time we ever hear Egghead talk, kinda. So he's muttering when he's counting to 10, to try and find Foghorn. And this one has to be one of the most meta Looney Tunes jokes out there, because you got Foghorn, he's hiding in the feed, which fair enough, there's nothing wrong with that. And Egghead, he does some calculations. Foghorn's like, oh, he's going the wrong way, I've won, And sure enough, Egghead does the calculations, he digs a hole, and Foghorn's there. It's like, wow, that was a great gag. And to top it off, I think what made me laugh the most, though, was the topper at the end, where Foghorn goes back to the feed box to see what on earth happened, and he's like, you know what? I better not look. I just might be there.
But boy, over there, the box. I couldn't. Yeah, I know, figures don't lie. But still, one side, boy. No, I better not look. I just might be in there.
Oh, that was bad.
It's just beautiful. Like, you don't even have to have a gag like that, because in other cartoons they might, and it's like, wait, how does that work? And they go back to see what happened, but not even showing what happens. It's perfect. You can leave it up to your own interpretation.
Yep, it is beautiful.
It much like Egghead Jr. That's genius.
And sure enough, he has a quote-unquote harmless tiny tot chemical set, and of course the gag is that he's going to make something that is quite deadly out of that. Weirdly enough, you and I recorded just a moment ago Dr. Jekyll's Hyde, where Sylvester in that one says, sody pop. And sure enough, Foghorn here says sody pop again. And sure enough, we don't really see much of what happened. We just see the aftermath later on of what actually happened to Foghorn.
Watch it fizz.
And we see Prissy again, and again, we see a photo in the background of an old chook. So I guess that's her mother or something. But anyway, I love noticing those details. And Foghorn's like, nope, the deal is off. I don't need your love. I've got my own bandages now to keep me warm. So I guess he gets what he wanted in the end, which was to keep warm during this cold winter that's coming. But we end there, and
Yeah,
it's fine.
like he wasn't entirely out for love anyway, so he got the ending he deserved.
Yeah, exactly. And sure enough, Prissy's not going to be now in a loveless marriage, with a useless husband. So everyone wins in the end, in a sense. So, and Egghead can go back to his books.
I will say though, because Egghead Jr. later appeared in 2 more cartoons. Those are fine, and they do have some funny gags here and there, but I think this one, compared to those 2, has the funnier jokes and the better timing. I mean, you can't top a joke as incredible as the hide and seek scene, but at the same time, those ones are still enjoyable on their own. In this one, it's a lot more, I guess there's a more sweet center in it, in that even though Foghorn probably wouldn't have expected to be a father, he does, as you said, Anthony, he does try his best to, warm up to Egghead Jr. and, try to be a good father figure to him. But at the same time, he just doesn't understand anything about what Egghead Jr. is actually interested in. His old-fashioned values or beliefs, to an extent, kind of blow up in his face. I'm not sure if it was intentional that he was autistic. I highly doubt it, but it is definitely something to think about.
I just think in hindsight, it's something that we just look at, with future eyes and ears and so on. It just feels like it. But in any case, I reckon we go for the rating. In this one, it might shock you to know, I'm going to give this one a very high score. This one gets a 9 out of 10. It is hilarious. It is one of the best.
Oh, same. I give it the exact same rating too. It might actually be closer to a 10 because it's just that darn funny. Like, any genuine negatives I have, I really can't think of any. Okay, maybe there's some backgrounds in animation that aren't as, I guess, stylized as other cartoons, but that's really not saying much. I'd probably even give this a 9.5 out of 10, honestly.
Exactly.
It's just that much fun to watch. And honestly, it would probably be just a flat out 9 if that third gag of the hide and seek thing wasn't in there, or not as meta, I guess.
Exactly. But we love this one. Let us know what you think below, if you agree if Egghead is autistic, and also if you happen to be a mathematician, if that mathematical sum makes any sense in any way, or any possible way, or whatever. Okay? That will do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.
And stay warm. It's getting colder this time of year, boy.
But you said you needed my love to keep you warm.
Madam, I don't need your love. I've got my bandages to keep me warm.